Stories in today's video. 1. Update. I, 28F, am getting tired of my BF, 28M, getting upset over inoffensive things that I say too. Update. Boyfriend, 25M, wants to break up because I, 26F, can't drink 3. Update. My 24F partner, 24 meters, doesn't do things unless I specifically ask him to. It's driving me insane. Previous post can be found. Well, Reddit. We broke up. 2 weeks after I posted the above, we got into a fight because I was surprised to see him in the kitchen when I had just saw him in the bedroom. I said, "Oh, you're up." He responded by rolling his eyes, shrugging his shoulders and demanding, "Is that a problem?" I said, "Of course not, I was just surprised," and went on to do the laundry. He left the kitchen and went into the bedroom. He gave me one-word answers when I tried talking to him. I guessed he needed time to himself, so I went into the living room to call my friend. As I was talking to her, I heard him leave the apartment. After I finished talking to her about 20 minutes later, I went out to find him playing Pokemon Go. I tried talking to him like normal and he kept giving me one-word answers, not looking at me. I finally asked him what was wrong. He said nothing. I said to tell me. He said he didn't feel welcome in my apartment because of my tone. For listeners who heard the previous fights, you'll know my tone and the wordings of my sentences were things that triggered him a lot. Even if they were innocent statements like, "I thought you were traveling on Monday," or anything else that somehow threatened him and made him immediately defensive. Unlike other times, where we would launch into a fight that would last hours or days because he would insist I would have a tone, I would say I didn't mean it that way, and apologize, and it wasn't enough. This time we managed to P*SS through it fairly unscathed, and due mostly to my patience, if I may say. But then later that day he told me how annoying my indecision was. That I could never relax. That night I wanted to see some friends for a few hours because I had only interacted with him for several weeks at that point and I needed some social time. He said that was fine. He's always said that would be fine, as if I needed his permission. So I went out. 25 minutes away from home and nearly at my destination, he messages me about how he feels lonely. He's going back to his home country soon. He wishes I hadn't gone out. We don't have much time left together. We were supposed to spend the whole day together. This was news to me. It takes a lot of effort for me to keep down the anxiety and just enjoy time with my friends before going home. We argue for 2 hours about it, even though there are several times when I point out he's repeating himself, that he said he didn't even know he would feel that way, so how could I anticipate his needs? It occurred to me that he often would do that, wait until it was too late to change something, complain about it and make it my fault. Like when he accused me of leaving him alone to fend for himself at a party for an hour. It was 15 minutes. I was watching the clock knowing he was insecure and didn't like social gatherings, or that I was with my friend he didn't like the whole time. I talked to my friend for less than 5 minutes the whole night because I had one eye on the clock and the other on my boyfriend. Why didn't he get up and talk to me during the party and tell me that? Why did he wait until the party was over and we were home and he held it over my head? Or the time we got back from a tropical island and he says he wishes we could have relaxed more, when I was the one who planned the trip and was driving, and why did it not occur to him to tell me at any time he just wanted to relax somewhere? I thought it was relaxing because he was just in the car talking with me and playing Pokemon Go anyway while I was doing the driving. Was it really not that relaxing? Or the time he was mad at me all day because he thought I was mad at him and I had made some remark that he took personally, shock, and he didn't tell me why he was being quiet until hours later and after I pried and begged for him to tell me. This kind of *T. All the time, you guys, holy *T. The day of the reckoning. He finally leaves my country. He's back in his home country. Messages me how he feels like he failed us and he doesn't want to be home. I respond compassionately but say he needs to get rest because he's been traveling so long and hasn't eaten, and I wanted to give the discussion of his feelings the time and love they needed, and we couldn't when it was 3 a.m. there and he had to be up for work at 7 a.m. He goes cold. He goes to bed. He wakes up. Still cold. One-word answers. I'm used to it now. But now I'm fed up. I call him out on his behavior. I tell him I'm sick of him going hot and cold with me. He says I didn't comfort him the way he wanted me to. I reiterate what I had said. He reiterates that it's not what he wanted to hear. We break up later that day. We're both sad. Despite the bad times, we had good times too, otherwise it would have been easier to let go. I'm disappointed in myself for saying I still didn't recognize the emotional abuse. I said we could try again. He says we couldn't. We both cry. We both apologize. We both thank each other for the good times. Next morning, he wakes up. Pissed. Mad I didn't give him a chance. Mad he has nothing to show for our relationship. Mad at all the sacrifices he made. Side note, after the last fight I posted about, he had said to me, I look at all the sacrifices I've made and I wonder, what have you sacrificed? Are you worth it? To give you an idea, that is the most hurtful thing anyone has ever said to me, and it was the beginning of the end of our relationship. I opened up my home to him, cooked him vegetarian meals, tried to introduce him to other people so he didn't feel lonely, took him out and explored the country with him, tried to cheer him up, planned all our trips. It was never enough. What was I sacrificing? My time, my energy, my mental health, my personal freedom, my social time with my friends. Everything. It was like he always expected the worst in me, and would only ever see what he wanted to see. So we haven't talked since, after he chewed me up and spit me out and accused me of never listening to his feelings and always blaming him for everything. That I should have told him how I felt sooner, that I should have heard him out on an apology, that he apparently had no intention to actually get better from, just feel bad that it happened at all and repeat the same behaviors as infinitum. If any of this rings true to you, please get out. I started reading, Why Does He Do That? Since I saw it recommended on this sub several times a day. It's opening my eyes to what I put up with. The unhealthy behaviors. The emotional abuse. The mental exhaustion I have suffered. I won't lie, I miss who he was in the beginning. The sweet guy. The promises. The love. The care. The above and beyond romantic gestures. But they had vanished only months into the relationship after we exchanged I love yous, and then the jealousy came out. The insecurity. Nitpicking what I said and how I said it. Even how I apologized wasn't good enough. His controlling tendencies. He demanded I not talk to my friends about it. Even after the breakup, he asked that I not talk to our mutual friends about our breakup. I could never make him happy. Please, please, if you read this and think it reminds you of your relationship, please know you can do better. I am single now and have been the last 2 weeks, but the moment we broke up I felt relief. I felt a weight being lifted off of me. I have my time again. I can do what I want, when I want, without worrying how he will feel or how he will react or how long our fight will last or trying to manage the anxiety he made me feel. It can get better. Look up signs of emotional abuse and click the link with over 60 examples. Google Why Does He Do That PDF and just read the first 10 pages online. If it resonates with you, then know that you have taken a very essential first step towards a happier, healthier you. I know I still have some ways to go. I am still trying to convince myself it was an emotionally abusive relationship, that I was not overreacting, that I can't go back, that I can do better, that my future self deserves better, that he was not the one. I had been so sure he was. But I just have to keep trusting my gut. It's hard not messaging him. I feel pathetic for even considering it. I used to be stronger. Maybe I'm still strong. I just have to get it back. Keep practicing. Keep being strong. Anyway. Thank you for reading. TLDR, I left my emotionally abusive relationship. Thank you to everyone who messaged and helped me see what he was doing was not okay. Thank you for the brave people who post about their unhappiness with their spouses and helped me see things must be able to get better. For making me feel less alone. Just, thank you. An AMP, LT, 3 edit, the overwhelming support. I can't keep up, but I'm reading every comment. Thank you for helping to convince me I'm not crazy. Thank you for sharing your own painful stories. Thank you for reaching out and leaving comments or messages to send hope and love. Thank you for your support. You are all lovely people, and I hope you are all enjoying happy and healthy lives and relationships. Original post. Long story short, we had a discussion and broke up that week. Not gonna lie, those first couple months were hard. It felt like the rug had been pulled out from under me and I was totally unsure what to do next. I was torn between sheepishly asking my company to withdraw the transfer, or going ahead and moving alone to what felt like my ex's city. Either way, the clock was ticking on my apartment lease. The anxiety was keeping me up at night and the lack of sleep only made things worse. On top of that, it was tough knowing that I was probably the only one sad about the breakup while my ex was living his best life, partying with best friends and banging hot chicks, relieved to be rid of me. So, yeah. That felt like sh*t. In the meantime, I threw myself into work to keep my mind off things. That's when things took a crazy turn because one of my projects garnered a lot of attention. It led to me writing a report that made its way to a member of upper management. Lo and behold, a few weeks later a management position opened up that I was uniquely qualified for, and the interviewer was that same person who liked my report. So I got the job. And when they told me that I would need to relocate to our home office in the Bay Area, I work in biotech, I was able to tell them that all my stuff was already packed and ready to go. Thanks, X. So now, instead of Dallas, I'll be moving to the Bay Area in a few weeks. One of my best friends is coming along for the ride. We're going to make an epic road trip out of it and hit a few national parks along the way. Since we had fully expected to move in together, Misa had taken some of my belongings down with him. I've paid about $500 so far to get my sh*t shipped back. My kitchen stuff and some pieces of furniture are forfeit. He has yet to return my gaming consoles. We really should have split it, but I knew he'd turn that into a back and forth that I didn't want to deal with. TBH, there's also enough of a difference in our budgets that $500 to me is not as big a deal as $250 would be to him. It's yet another blessing that we never merged our finances. I've reminded him a few times about the rest of my stuff and he keeps telling me he'll get it to me. I really don't want to have to come down there with a police escort to take back my property, but it's looking like I might have to. I don't know why he has to make this so difficult, but I'm getting pissed. So if anyone has any advice to share on that. I know I'll never know his true thinking, but honestly who cares at this point? I've also decided I'm not going to try to date for another year at least. I've been told that my management role is likely to be upgraded to a director role, depending on my performance review. So work will probably take up a lot of my time. Any remaining time I have, I want to fully devote to forming friendships. But most importantly, if you couldn't already tell, it's clear that I have some serious work to do on self-worth and boundaries. FTR, I think it's important to note that it's not like this guy was a deadbeat loser. I know it's easy to think, why is this woman dating an *SS hole, when you read these posts, but it's rarely that simple. Everyone who met him loved him. We shared a lot of common interests. He was fun to be around, always happy, great to talk to, supportive of my career, a fantastic cook, very organized, came from a great family, had a good job, all of that. However, there's no denying that I was in a long-term relationship with someone who consistently took way more than they gave. Like, on every level. And he himself would admit that. I want to take this time to work on myself so that I never accept that kind of situation again. Boot, when I do decide to put myself out there again, it's the Bay Area. God knows there will be plenty of guys around who also get Asian glow and will understand why I'm not drinking. Lol, cheers, everyone. Clinking glasses **** TLDR****, we broke up. Went through a terrible couple months. Drowned myself in work to cope. Hard work paid off and I landed a major promotion that will take me to the Bay Area instead. Learned an expensive lesson about letting and so move your things. Hoping he doesn't make me come down there, but I know it's all going to be good in the end. Original Hey everyone, I wrote this post just over 2 months ago, and I got a lot of advice and help and thought I should do an update. I took a lot of your advice. I spoke to him about it again, and said we need to come up for a solution because I couldn't go on with such little help anymore. We wrote a list as someone had suggested. Sorry I don't know how to link usernames, and I wrote what I do and he wrote what he did. My list was much bigger than his and he said he didn't realize how unequal the lists were and he thought we were doing pretty much the same. He thanked me for everything I did, and said he'd change. We take it in turns with the nappy changes and the story times etc. and it's working very well. Now we have certain things we both need to get done. He will bath the kids on the nights he's home so he gets to spend more one-on-one time. He'll read stories and is being much more involved. I still do a lot which I'm fine with, the things SAHP do, but I want to stay home with the kids and do the majority as I feel that's what I'm happiest with doing. I'm just appreciative of the help he's now giving me. I don't feel alone anymore. I think with a new baby and a toddler and working full time, it was getting a bit on top of him, but we communicate better, and when he's feeling overwhelmed, I'll do more and vice versa. I do think I have to ask him some things still, but I feel like that only happens when we have had a bit of a busy, hard day. But we have more of an understanding of one another now. We also read the articles commenters recommended, and that is definitely in the back of our mind. I do feel I got into the habit of doing things myself and would bathe and read, etc., without really giving him that time, and now I'm encouraging him even more to do things one-on-one with the kids. As I was always there when he was spending time with them, I'm trying to make it where he actually gets alone time with them as well. As I think that was making him feel like a secondary parent, if that makes sense. He has a much better bond with the kids now, and we are all so much happier as a family and us as a couple. I might have missed things, so if you want to know anything else, I'll answer. I know this isn't the most amazing update and it's just a case of communicating better, but you've all helped so much and I'm very appreciative. I love Reddit. Thanks for all your comments, advice.